Aemon Targaryen and Aslan Targaryen. Yeah. They're brothers. No one knows.
You guys are so fucking
Aslan the Conqueror.
Yes. Yes.
You two are so fucking
Aslan just fits perfectly as a Targaryen.
It does. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Aslan Targaryen is great. I love it.
Warning, the following show will spoil the hell out of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire books and the TV show A Game of Thrones. Also, you're probably going to find a fuck ton of bad language. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Death and boobies, 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 death and boobies.
Hello and welcome back to the Ironwood Network Book Club. I am your host, Lady Wyvern, and as always, I am here with my co-host, Maester Ironwood and Widows Wolfsbane. How are you guys today?
I'm alright.
I guess her name's just officially Widows.
Apparently.
Widows.
I'm telling you. Fuck.
I was gonna put a Z in it in my Twitter handle.
I just can't say it right.
Well, neither can she, and it's her name, so...
That's true. I haven't been able to say it right since day one.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, alright, so yes. We are here. I'm doing fantastic.
Well, that's good to hear.
Because it's a fucking Catelyn chapter.
Yeah.
But it is mercifully short.
It is mercifully short.
And mercifully quick.
Yes.
And relatively interesting at the end.
And gets very interesting.
Yes. Because I'm tired of being in her head.
The whole front half of it was just like reading like nails on a chalkboard.
Well, yeah, it was exposition.
Yeah.
And stuff we really don't need to talk about.
She thinks very childish-like. And I'm just over it for an adult.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Basically, this chapter is like, for 10 pages, Catelyn thinks about her brother and sister and father's bannermen.
Yeah.
And then she thinks about what she should do. Should she go to see her father? Should she go to see Lysa? Or should she go to the north and do the things that Ned told her she had to do in order to get prepared for war? And she decides in her mind that probably best to do the things, go north and do the things that Ned told her to do to get ready for war. Because, we got a war coming.
But she wants to ignore the war.
She's trying to incite.
Right, that she has to do everything she can to not have a war start because her family can't win the war. So, and then 2 pages later,
she starts a war.
Yes.
Because she's a fucking idiot.
Yes.
So any listeners out there who want to message us and try to defend Catelyn Tully,
please do.
Please do, because I would love to hear your argument.
And we will actually read them. Well, if we get a shit ton of them, maybe not all of them, but the better arguments we will read on air.
Yeah.
And debate.
Yeah, because she knows what she has to do and what the right courses of action are, and then just does the complete fucking opposite.
She literally identifies the choices that she has, identifies what the best choice is, and then immediately does a 180 and goes for the worst choice possible.
Yeah, she does a Jason Kidd, we're going to turn this team around 360 degrees.
Yes.
180?
No, that's the point.
That's the
Jason
point.
Kidd said in an interview he's going to turn his team around 360 degrees. Yeah, Catelyn's 5th chapter, whatever number chapter that is.
Her and Roderick are traveling back to the north on the good old King's Road.
Yep, they're on their way to the King's Road.
We need a weather report.
They're approaching. Yep, they're approaching the crossroads.
They are.
And Widow, why don't you go ahead and tell us what the weather is like along the King's Road?
All right, today on the Westerosi Weather Report, we have rain, you guys! It's a nice warm summer rain. It's nice and soft on the skin, and it makes you feel happy and warm on the inside, unlike that freezing ass balls winter rain that's upstairs or up north in Winterfell.
You use this balls thing wrong. See, balls go with hot. Like it's balls hot.
But it's balls freezing up there, and it makes it go
retract
up into a mangina.
That's not balls. You're using this completely wrong.
No, it makes the balls go back up in the body.
You're using this completely wrong. Balls is for hot. So, like, in King's Landing...
So, tits cold?
I don't care, but balls always goes with hot. So, like, King's Landing the other day...
What if it's freezing the balls off a brass monkey?
Balls hot.
There are no brass monkeys in Westeros.
Yeah, there are. You know what a brass monkey is? A brass monkey holds the No, that's a clapping monkey. A brass monkey is the 4x4 rack that holds cannonballs on a ship. And it's made out of brass, as you could think.
Well, I don't know
when
why
it gets too cold,
crossroads.
No, when it gets too cold, the brass shrinks enough that the cannonballs will actually fall off of the brass monkey.
How about it's How about the rain in the north is cold enough that Catelyn Tully could cut ice
With her nipples?
with her nipples?
I was just going to say it's like my grandfather says, colder than a witch's tit out there.
Well, there you go. That works for cold. That works for cold.
Yeah, so it's freezing rain, and unfortunately, we don't want freezing rain, so... But here's our weather report. Nice warm rain down
It's
south.
warm summer rain.
Yeah, freezing cold rain that kills crops up north.
Yeah, so it's a warm summer rain, which reminds Catelyn of River Run.
Oh, God. And then it makes her think of her brother and her sister, and we're back to her and Ned having sex again.
Well, not really.
they were
Not really, but that's
Well, the last time she thought of Edmure and Lysa was when Ned was pile driving her. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the weather update.
Thanks.
Yep.
I'm very happy to do it. My old lady inside is very happy.
Yep. Now, it seems that Sir Roderick is not enjoying the weather.
No, he's pissed.
And
He's a Stark.
And he's not a Stark.
He's a Stark man.
He's a northern
He's a
bred
Cassell.
guy. Yeah.
He's from the north, though.
Right. He's Jory's dad.
So he prefers the cold.
Right. And he's not enjoying the rain.
Soaked
and
to the
being
bone,
outside. Yeah. His bones are soaked. Not soaked to the bone. His bones are soaked.
Which, my first thought was, of course they have blood in them. But, I mean, that's,
That's a technical term.
Yeah, that's the technical
technically
side of
it's
it.
the marrow that has blood in it.
No, there's blood vessels that go through, too. But
Let's not get too technical here.
All the technicalities.
Well.
But, anyway, he points out that
Wyvern.
they point out that there is a inn at the crossroads that they're approaching.
And he's so happy for an inn. And then,
except that he's like, but we can't
shouldn't.
because we have to remain incognito.
They're pretty
Fuck that
damn
shit.
incognito at this point, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
pretty
because right then, one of her father's bannermen rides by.
Yes, and he
and
doesn't even notice her.
Doesn't recognize her
Nope.
at all.
Well,
Which is so...
she's sopping wet. She's got hair in her face. She's covered in mud. Nobody's going to expect Lady Stark to be...
Lady Tully.
Yeah.
She's still married. to be wandering north up the King's Road, covered in mud, in the pouring rain.
With some random other old guy.
Right.
Much of a guard.
Exactly. And she probably hasn't been in the Riverlands in
Since her wedding.
15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
At least since her wedding.
Yeah, so people might not even recognize her.
Yeah.
Well,
They probably
no,
don't remember who she is.
The innkeeper doesn't recognize her.
Well, the one bannerman that they did pass didn't recognize her.
Right.
He was at the wedding.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's been 15 years probably since any of them have seen her.
Yeah.
So they decide that since her father's bannerman couldn't even recognize her, that they could probably chance staying at the inn.
Yes.
And that draws Catelyn into a big, long thinking about the woman who runs the inn.
Yeah, because we need that
Short,
information
the
of her
short,
teeth.
fat lady with a bloody smile because she's always chewing on some kind of leaf.
Sour leaf or
Sour
whatever.
The
leaf.
sour leaf,
Yeah.
yep. That's red. Does that come off the...
It's probably the plant itself, like the leaves are probably
Okay.
red. They would probably use it to dye clothing too.
Well, that'd be weird if it were weirwood leaf.
Yeah.
That was my thought. Was
That's
it was
interesting.
weirwood leaf?
Maybe it is.
You didn't think about that?
Not really, no. Because it'd be kind of weird for people to be eating weirwood leaf.
Why?
I don't know, it just seems like it's weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's really sugary, it might make sense.
Yeah, who knows?
So, and it could be that. It could just be that
Sucking
she's
on the
eating.
blood of all
Yeah.
these dead people.
Well, I mean-
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Creepy!
I say, because people chew on sugarcane just because it's sweet.
Yeah.
So,
But we don't really know what sour leaf is. Probably not weirwood leaf, I would assume. But
I hope not.
yeah, that'd be a little strange.
Yeah.
A lot strange.
But Catelyn does remember that she always puts out a good spread for dinner.
Yes.
The rooms
She
are
was
warm.
such a child, though. Of course she got all this special treatment.
Right,
was
she
there
got
with her
this
dad.
special honey rolls and treats.
And the creepy-ass smile.
Yep,
Oh,
and the
God,
creepy
yeah.
smile. But, so they pull in, and thankfully, there are 2 rooms left at the inn.
Only
Top
under
of
the
the
bell
stairs.
tower.
But right at the top of the
The
stairs,
stairs.
under the bell tower. Like,
Yep.
the 2 worst rooms. Like, these are the 2 rooms I couldn't pay people to take for the night.
They were dusty.
Yes.
That's how often they get used.
Yeah.
Yep. Because no one wants to
They
stay
don't
there.
clean the rooms very well, let me tell you.
Right. Well, and so the inn is filled because everybody is on their way south for Ned's tourney.
Ned's tourney. Yay, Ned's tourney.
They have about 2 weeks to get there.
Yep. So they got some time to get to down to King's Landing.
It's taken them a fortnight from leaving
Exactly.
King's Landing.
So they're right on pace.
Yeah.
2 weeks to get there, and about a week after that.
And there's a whole bunch of Lord Tully's bannermen.
Yeah.
In the dining hall of the inn when they arrive.
Now, there's a town around this inn, right?
Yeah, there's like a little town around the inn. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking it was just this one building in the middle of
No, it was like like a very small little town with like a few things.
I was going to say it's a crossroads.
They probably have like a
there's
butcher
enough people and enough travelers to make
a small town.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably got like a smith. I would assume
a smith, a butcher,
probably
a
sept of some sort.
Yeah,
candlestick maker.
Sure, why not?
Absolutely.
I had to finish it. You said the first two. I had to say the last. I'm sorry.
All right.
Is that some kind of nursery I'm not aware of?
The butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker?
You've never heard of that?
Nope, apparently not.
Really?
Oh, no. She grew up on, like, fairy tales of, like, the fucking,
Bob the Builder?
No, Chupacabra.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Those were her nursery rhymes. The Chupacabra.
The Chupacabra is going to come steal you at night if you don't sit the fuck down and shut up.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you.
Oh, boy. All right. So there's a whole bunch of her father's bannermen in there, which kind of freaks her out a little bit. She's worried that somebody might recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's Brackens, and there's Wentz, and there's Freys.
There's Harrenhal people.
That's the Wentz.
Is that the
That's
Wentz?
Went from Harrenhal, yep. And
a bunch of other odd ones.
And a bunch of free riders and odds and ends people,
Musicians.
There's a musician.
Oh,
Marillion.
Marillion. We forgot to mention that at this point, they are now daughter and father.
Yes.
They're undercover, so they decided that they have to be daughter and father.
Yes.
But apparently,
I guess it's better than husband and wife.
Apparently, Sir Roderick looks old enough that Marillion mistakes him for the grandfather.
Well, I think that Marillion was being a dick because Roderick was being a dick to him.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Roderick was like, I got 2 coppers, but I'd rather throw them in a well than pay you.
Yeah.
Not everyone likes musicians. Boys are supposed to be fighting with swords.
Well, it's not just that, but musicians have this way of
They're cocky assholes.
Well, they have a way of stealing away daughters.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it is mentioned that
that's why one of Edmure's girlfriends was stolen by a
why
musician.
Edmure doesn't like them, which is hilarious because he says that him and Edmure are like brothers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
We'll get there.
No, but I feel like musicians in this time frame are more like used car salesmen. They're really pushy.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get your money to do.
Not just that, but they're slick.
Yeah, because they're selling themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the multi-level marketing guys of the day.
Yes.
They're like whores without the sex.
Yeah.
No, with the sex too.
Well, that too. But they don't normally pay for that.
No, they don't pay for it.
They just take it from you.
Yep, exactly. But that was one of the reasons that Lyanna had fallen in love with Rhaegar, is because he played the harp.
Oh, really?
And she had heard him play at the tourney of Harrenhal. And Cersei mentions that too, how she loved how Rhaegar played his harp.
Women like musicians that know how to use their fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Playing the harpsichord on the lungs.
These days, that's why people like guys who play video games.
I'm sure he was twiddling Lyanna's harp. So
video games are all the thumbs, and if you're sticking your thumb up there, I'm not too entertained.
It takes more than just the thumbs. You got the buttons up top too.
You should get the hand-eye coordination.
Yeah. So the hand-eye coordination is really the big thing. It's true.
Okay.
Anyway, so what do we get? And then, yes.
What are they eating, Maester?
Some sort of gruel.
No.
They're at like a faux Panera kind of thing, because they got like a bread bowl that gets like some meat bits thrown in it.
Yeah.
It's to us, that's called Speedies.
To us, that's called shit.
No. It's Speedies.
Yes, here in upstate New York, they're eating what we would call Speedies. Probably not as good.
Probably not.
Because Speedies are the world's most amazing food.
Yeah. Okay.
I will disagree there, but they're still very good.
They're the world's most amazing food.
We have a big party for them every year.
I'm not from upstate New York, so I have the voice of reason over here.
We do have a giant party specifically for Speedies every year.
We do. The balloon festival, yay! That's the only thing I look forward to.
No, it's the balloon rally.
Yeah, and that's the only thing I look forward to the whole
Speedy
week.
Fest and balloon rally.
Yeah, I don't look forward to the first half, only the second half.
I mean, the world's most popular Speedy sauce is New York State Fair's Speedy sauce. Salamita, New York State Fair.
Yes.
But yes, that's what they are eating. They're eating a Panera bread bowl filled with Speedies and some gruel.
Fried vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a decent meal for, it's raining outside, you're
it's
traveling, you stop at it's a warm meal, it's dry and warm inside.
Yeah, and
You got some meat, you got veggies, you get beer, you've got carbs. It sounds like a good meal, and Catelyn was right. She still puts out a good
Yeah,
good
she
spread.
There's no honey cakes involved. But,
no honey cake. Well, that's because Catelyn's not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not a kid anymore, and
The magic's gone.
yeah.
I mean, she's got the mind of a kid, but
I feel like she
Yeah.
only got the honey cakes too because she's
She
more
went with her
Constantine's
father.
child.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like let me
Exactly.
suck up to the Lord by giving his kid free candy.
Exactly, because this
Yeah.
inn is in the Riverlands.
Yeah.
So, okay, so this is where we get Catelyn thinking about what she should do.
That's
She-
when you get dangerous in that sentence right there.
She thinks,
She's thinking. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
that's the dangerous part.
well, here's the thing. She thinks correctly
She does.
of
But
what
she
she
doesn't
needs
act
to do.
correctly.
She has a
She
very
doesn't
good thought
act
process.
correctly. So she thinks, okay, should I go to, if we're at the crossroads, so if I go west, I can go really quickly to my father at River Run and warn him of what's going on.
But
and
he's
get his counsel.
fragile
Yeah,
at
be
this
like, hey,
point.
Dad, how's it
But
going?
he's like bedridden and 9 billion years old.
He's been bedridden for 2 years.
So it wouldn't do much good.
and
No.
she doesn't want to
She
bother.
could also turn east and go to see Lysa in the Vale.
Ew.
But that's a deadly trip.
But that's a deadly trip through the mountains of the moon because you've got the
mountain tribes
mountain clans and
that
stuff
do guerrilla
there.
warfare.
Exactly. So that's also a bad idea.
Yes.
Especially when you only have one
Especially
guy.
when you're not armed. You
Yeah.
just have
She's not armed.
Roger Cassell and
Yeah.
you.
What'd she say? He was armed in loyalty?
Yeah, armed in loyalty, and that's about it. Yeah, exactly.
And an older knight armed in loyalty. So he's not even like a fresh young guy.
Yeah, he's
like he's
an
got
old
good
man.
skill, but he's probably getting slow.
Like maybe if it were Jory.
Yeah.
But even
Yeah.
then, I mean, it's even said that John Aaron wouldn't go through the mountains of the moon with like a full company of men,
yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
and he was the Lord of the Vale. So, a stupid idea for her to even try that. So she rightly says, "No,
Bad idea.
I should go north to
And do what I'm
Winterfell
told to do.
and do the 5 things that Ned told me to do to prepare for the potential war that might be coming upon us."
And maybe see your kids for the first time in God knows
And
how long.
maybe see Rob and give him a hand running
And-
Winterfell.
And see Bran, since she's never seen him awake.
Yeah, so she comes up with the right answer here.
So
And
yeah,
then
let's do that.
And then she thinks, also, she should do that because she shouldn't do anything that could potentially lead to war. Because the Starks cannot afford to go to war right now.
Yeah, they've got too much other shit to handle.
Yeah.
Especially with crops
Plus
and whatever.
her husband and her 2 daughters are in the Lion's Den right now.
Yep.
In
Yeah.
King's Landing, surrounded by Lannisters.
Yep.
So she's like, we cannot afford to go to war. So she's mentally set. She's got it. She's got to figure it out. She's
actually
going
got
north,
the right thought.
Yeah.
and she can't do anything
Else.
to push towards war.
Just
So then
go
she goes
home.
back downstairs.
Yep.
And they're talking with Marillion. And this is where we get Marillion talking with Roderick and Lady
Roger
Catelyn.
being a douche because Marillion's being a douche.
Yeah, Roderick, not a big fan of singers, apparently.
No.
At all. He must have had a girlfriend stolen by a singer when he was a kid.
He must have.
Like one of
He
the
must have.
rare singers to visit Winterfell.
Yeah, because they don't make it that far north. It's
Yeah.
cold.
Maybe
And-
he's not Jory's real dad. Maybe a singer spoiled his wife.
Well, who would?
You never
I would be
know.
surprised.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd
surprised.
let a bastard run the household guard.
They wouldn't know.
I bet you that at some point, if John had stayed, John would have been running the household guard.
Yeah,
No, probably.
So,
yeah.
that's definitely a position Rob could have and would have appointed him to.
Right.
Because Ned's also the kind of guy, he doesn't really care if you're a bastard or not, as long as you can do the job that he's going to give you.
Not just that, but loyal.
Yeah, loyal
Yeah.
and you're competent, he's going to give you
So
work.
if you're a good doggy, I'll give you work to do.
Yes, pretty much. Pretty much.
He invites him to sit at the head table with him. I mean,
Yeah.
doesn't treat him like that's like a Tywin thing. Like, oh, you're a
Yeah.
good doggy. That's
Yeah.
not a Ned thing because
Yeah, no.
Tywin's like throwing his people like scraps from the table, where Ned has them sit down
Yeah.
with him
Yeah.
and
And they
eat.
each get one decent meal a week.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, at least one decent. I mean, I have a feeling that nobody in Winterfell inside the castle is having a shit meal.
Yeah,
That's
no.
true.
Like, it seems
I
like
don't know if
everybody's
it's been a hot
having...
meal.
Like, maybe in Wintertown, outside of there, but the people who are, like, have real good jobs inside Winterfell, I'm assuming, are not, like, starving.
Yeah.
Especially anyone who works in the castle.
I mean,
Right.
they might be, like, on rationing now, like, winter's coming and they've got to stock up for the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But then at that point, then everybody's going to be eating on rationing.
Exactly.
Even the
Right.
Starks.
Even the Starks are going to be. No one's going to be having any extra.
Yeah. So, not a bad deal. So, yeah. So Marillion tells Catelyn that, he knows all about the Tullys.
Yeah.
In fact, him and Edmure are best friends.
They're
Like
like brothers.
They're like brothers.
So close.
To which
I'm surprised
Catelyn,
Catelyn doesn't laugh in his face.
to which
Well, she
Catelyn
can't.
remembers, oh, really? Because Edmure fucking hates singers more than Sir Roderick.
Yes.
Because when he was younger, a singer stole his girlfriend.
Yes. And ever since then, fuck those singer guys.
So she wonders what Edmure would make of Marillion telling her this.
I wish she could ask him.
Singers are just so full of themselves.
They have to be.
It's the only way they can sell themselves.
Yeah. I mean-
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's their job, right?
Yeah.
I mean, their job is to be like the person who like sings about the glorious victory.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, could you imagine doing a job interview every single day? Like, that's what he's doing right now. He's at their table doing a job interview. Like, hey, I'm going to sell you myself so I can make some money right now.
Yeah, he's a door-to-door
I'd rather be a
vacuum
whore.
salesman.
Yeah.
I'd rather be a whore.
That's a
Yeah,
much
right?
easier job. Right?
Yeah, then they come to you.
Yeah, you're more likely to get people who want to fuck than you are people who want to listen to music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, and then, so while they're talking, a new party enters the inn.
Ooh. Who could this be?
A certain lord,
Is he a short lord?
a very short lord,
Ooh.
a couple of men from the Night's Watch,
Our good buddy Yoren.
and some house guards
Yes.
Obviously not enough to protect the little man.
in red.
In red.
With
With a little lion somewhere on his body.
Yep. And it turns out that it is Tyrion Lannister.
Aslan Targaryen's younger brother.
Yep. And
What is it with Aslan and Targaryen?
we fucking don't you?
Listen, he agrees with me on this one. I can do that one as much as I
Okay,
want.
what the fuck?
Do you remember Aslan Targaryen?
Aslan Targaryen's gonna come in and save the day with the Night King.
That's Jaime.
Yeah, I know who it is, but I don't remember where this Aslan Targaryen
Remember
shit
we were
came
talking.
from.
Remember we were talking about in the one episode we were talking about. There's the tinfoil that Tyrion's is secretly a Targaryen,
Right.
but I think it's more likely that it's Jaime and Cersei
Yeah.
that are the Targaryens.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about Aslan.
Coming in through Narnia to like roar and like
'Cause he's the
destroy the
lion.
people.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Jaime's real birth name, if he were still a Targaryen, would be Aslan Targaryen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Aemon Targaryen and Aslan Targaryen.
Yeah.
They're brothers. No one knows
You guys
them.
are so fucking
Aslan the Conqueror.
Yes. Yes.
You two are so fucking
Oh,
weird.
Aslan just fits perfectly as a Targaryen.
It
I
does.
think.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Aslan Targaryen is great. I love it. I'm totally. If the first shirt we ever do has to be an Aslan Targaryen shirt.
Oh, absolutely.
I love it.
I
Can you
would
get
stand
away
for
with
nothing
that
less.
with,
I don't give a shit. I
sword?
will because I don't think that the name Aslan is like copyrighted.
Yeah, the name
That's the term
Aslan's
I was
not.
thinking of.
Yeah, it's not copyrighted.
Yeah, so
That I'm
an
aware of at
Aslan
all.
Targaryen shirt.
But yeah,
Widow,
so
come give me some body heat. Just
So-
don't bite my head off.
I'm not a
And
praying mantis.
we're gonna take a pause because this can only be shown on Pornhub.
I'm not a praying mantis, you guys.
No, there are some
I'm
spiders.
a black widow.
There are some spiders that eat the bodies of their mates as
That's most
they're
of them.
having sex.
Yeah.
And
That's
just
most of
leave the head.
Marillion then has had enough of Sir Roderick and goes over and offers his services to Tyrion Lannister. Well, actually, first Tyrion is told that they don't have a room.
Yeah,
And
sorry.
the innkeeper is very, very sorry, but there's
She's also
no
kind of,
rooms.
I feel like she was kind of distraught about it because she knows
Well,
that he's
yeah.
a
Because she
Lannister.
knows who his father
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, so
She
she's
feels
distraught
that
about
she
it.
can't offer this rich man a room.
Yeah, and so one of the free riders who already has a room offers his room to Tyrion,
Yep.
who flips him a coin. And
Yes.
so he'll take the room, and his men are fine to sleep in the stables as long as the hay is dry.
Yes.
And there's no fleas.
And there's no fleas.
Well, even Tyrion said that he would take like Harry Potter's closet bedroom as long as
there was no fleas.
Yeah, as long
and the
as
hay
there
was dry.
Yeah, well, not even no fleas. A reasonable
Right,
amount
a reasonable number. Yeah, exactly. Well, because Yoren's going to bring the fleas in his beard to wherever they go anyway.
That's true. That is unfortunately true.
Yeah, so...
Damn it, Yoren.
So Tyrion does get a room. He tells the woman that to give his men double portions of what everybody else is eating.
Yep.
Because they've had a long day.
Yes.
And that he will have a roasted fowl of some sort. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what kind.
I want a bird.
Duck, goose, he doesn't care.
If the hound were there, it'd be a fucking chicken.
Yeah, a fucking chicken. He wants a roasted fowl of some sort.
Yes.
And then he invites Yoren to sup with him.
And of course, Yoren's not going to turn that down.
Oh,
like everyone else has got like
No.
stale, gamey, like old deer or something like that. And
Yeah,
then he goes, I'm going
roasted
to have
fowl?
a fucking chicken.
Hell yeah, I'll have some roasted fowl with you.
Yeah. Like, I gotta shit what you have to say. I'm gonna sit here and chew on some stuff and ignore the hell out of you.
Right?
Absolutely, which is great. And then so that's when Marillion comes over and offers to sing for Tyrion during his supper. And he goes, "I will. How about I sing for you about your father's great victory at King's Landing?" To which Tyrion goes, "Nothing is more likely to ruin my dinner."
Yeah. Yeah, because that's the last thing he wants to hear
about my father.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Peace.
His father's a douche.
Yep, exactly. To which Marillion seems a little butthurt about.
Oh, of course.
Well, yeah, because he's like, I mean, if he had offered to sing, I think anything else, Tyrion would be like,
Well, no,
guess.
maybe the other one, if he'd offered to sing like the Reigns of Castamere, Tyrion would probably be like, no.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't want to hear it. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
But he could have picked anything about any other place.
Yep.
And he probably like, you know what? What the hell? Let's have a little music.
I can throw you some coin.
Yeah, and then, but no, he had to go and bring up his dad.
Yep.
Like, let me just sing about Tywin Lannister while you're here, dude.
Yeah, let me remind you of your father and how much he hates you all the fucking time.
Yep.
And then that is when Tyrion drops a bombshell out of nowhere.
On the entire tavern.
Yeah.
On the entire inn. When he says, Lady Stark! So nice to see you. I missed you when I stopped at Winterfell.
Yep.
And that's when, like, everybody in the room goes,
oh, shit. What?
And the innkeeper's like, Lady Stark. Oh, I didn't recognize you. And she's like,
oh, shit.
It's like, well, I was still Lady Tully the last I was here. And we're like, you still are Lady Tully because you're not a fucking Stark, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Fact.
Exactly.
Never be a Stark.
So then...
You'll die.
She gets her dander up, like real quick, like
she's like sitting there like a second, like
all
cowering in the corner,
got balls.
And then I know where like her hackles are just like all up in the air. That's all I see.
I can just see her legs in the air.
Oh my god, her legs in the air. Okay, now that got sexual.
Pounding her.
Yeah,
she got her legs up in the air, waving around. Ned's back in King's Landing.
You never know.
Maybe it's one of the Freys.
Maybe.
I would be surprised.
This is the chapter where we skip right over this because it really isn't that important, but this is the chapter where we learn why Walder Frey is called the late Walder Frey.
Yes, this is true.
Because at the Battle of the Trident, he showed up so late that nobody knew which side he was showing up to support.
Yep.
And he assured Ned and Lord Hoster Tully that he was there on their side.
Yeah.
So from then on,
for you guys.
Yeah. So from then on, Hoster Tully called him the late Lord Frey.
Yeah. Because the battle was literally like they were literally.
The battle was done. Yeah.
Yeah. They were going through fighting some casualties and picking up their men.
Yeah. Robert
and he was
had
just
already,
like up on the field, like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
Yeah. Robert had already killed Rhaegar by the time.
Yeah.
Hoster Tully, or by the time Lord Frey got there.
Ugh, fucking Lord Frey.
And we also learned that Walder Frey
turned 90.
No, is turning 90.
He's turning 90.
Yeah, he's turning 90.
He has outlived 7 wives.
7 wives. And what is he doing on his name day?
Getting married again.
Getting married again.
And every time they're younger.
He has daughters, granddaughters, great-granddaughters,
bastards,
and grandbastards, and great-grandbastards.
Yep.
And still going.
And he's still going, and he's still going to marry again.
See? Yep. He's 90 and can still have children.
That's true.
Hi, Melfi.
Lord Aaron couldn't do that.
No, Lord Aaron couldn't do that.
Yep.
Maybe, well, I mean, genetics are different.
Yeah.
True.
He just has...
He could have been completely sterile his whole life, and nobody would have known.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, except by all the
that
children.
Lysa
yeah, he couldn't be sterile because...
That's right. So they had crooked tails.
Crooked genes.
Yeah.
Crooked tails.
Crooked tails, one finally took.
Yep.
Maybe.
Maybe. If else it was somebody else's. I'm sure someone else probably could have snuck into that bed and no one would have, thought twice about it.
Well, I think somebody did sneak into that bed, and I'm pretty sure it was Littlefinger.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, does that mean Robin's his?
I think so. It's
We
Robert.
think so. It's Robert. In the show, it's Robin. In the books, it's Robert.
Okay. I forgot about that.
Sweet Robert Aaron.
Sweet
I'm
Robert.
pretty sure Robert Aaron is Littlefinger's.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a shocker. So, Catelyn says, this man, this little dwarf, came into my home.
Oh, no. First she has to fluff everyone's feathers first.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
She's got to be like...
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
She's like...
Oh, you guys know my dad, right?
Yeah. She's like, y'all know my pops. Like, does your lord still consider himself, a loyal bannerman to my father? Because my father considers him one of his favorite bannermen. And they're all like, of course, they're like, oh, of course, my lady, of course. I mean, it's not really that important because, of course, they're going to say yes. Yeah, so after filleting all of her father's bannermen in the room, verbally.
Yes.
Fluff their feathers.
I was going filleting, but whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
After filleting them and their lords, she says, this man, this dwarf, this half-man, came into my home, accepted our hospitality, and then conspired to kill my son Bran.
No
Who was
proof.
only 7.
There's no proof
Which there's
of this.
zero proof of at all.
No proof.
Yes. Yeah, she's
They
got
have
nothing.
Littlefinger's word to go by.
And she knows, and she just told us that she can't do anything to start a war.
Yep.
Because the Starks cannot go to war.
Yeah.
But guess what she just did?
So she decides to
Start
tell
a war.
these men to seize Tyrion Lannister and help her escort him to King's Landing to face the King's justice.
No,
Take him to
Winterfell.
Winterfell.
To take him to Winterfell to await the King's justice.
I thought she said to the
No.
King's Landing.
Winterfell.
She put in there, help me return him to Winterfell to await the King's justice.
Okay, so yeah, return him to Winterfell.
Yeah.
Which is not where she ends up going, but we don't learn that in this chapter. That's in
Yeah.
Tyrion's next chapter. But yeah, so she immediately after deciding that she can't start a war, takes the son of the most powerful lord in all of the realm hostage.
Yes. I think she said taking him to Winterfell on purpose, and then takes him to the Vale
Yes.
on purpose.
Yeah.
So
She
that way,
says it loud
Yeah, because in
and
the
quite
in
often.
the
Yeah.
TV show, he goes, you said you were taking me to Winterfell, and she goes, yes, well, yes, often and loudly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. And that's
bitch.
where we leave off.
What a crazy bitch.
She has taken Tywin Lannister's son hostage.
And here starts the war.
And here we go, the beginning of the war.
Yep.
The beginning
Inciting incident, if you
of
will.
the downfall of the Starks, yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
this
all
is the
Catelyn's
assassination.
fault.
Yeah, this is the assassination of Franz Ferdinand right here.
Yes. Like, if she had just not done that specific little thing.
Probably could have wriggled our way out of having a war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
They probably could have circumvented an entire war that killed the entire Stark family.
Yep, the Lannisters wouldn't have been on guard.
Yep.
Which means Ned probably could have gotten some information to Robert about
Exactly.
the kids.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He wouldn't have to do that little meme thing where tell Robert about the kids and then veer off the highway and tell Cersei and get yourself killed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Could have avoided that.
yeah. So bad Catelyn.
Fucking Catelyn Tully. Can we have a shirt that says that too? Fucking Catelyn Tully.
How about this fuck Catelyn?
Yeah, so that's the end. I don't think we have anything else we need to talk about.
I don't
Nope.
think we do either.
I'm done talking about Catelyn.
We do need a name
We do need a name for this one.
for the title for the chapter.
When it rains.
So when she rains? When she rains, it pours?
Whichever.
Because when she rains, it does pour on the
It does.
Starks.
Yeah.
You do when she rains, it pours.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
When she rains, it pours.
Because she's a dumb bitch.
I'm cutting this off, by the way.
All right, our next chapter is
Sansa!
Oh god, is it? Oh, Jesus
Sansa
Christ.
2.
Oh my god. We already had Sansa and Sansa 1.0.
However, it is at the tourney,
Yes.
Oh, okay, so that might be not so terrible.
so it won't be too awful.
It'll be
So it's been a
fun.
fortnight now. Because the tourney is
At
about a
least 3
fortnight away.
weeks.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it'll have been a fortnight.
Yep. Been a
2,
fortnight.
if not 3 weeks.
Yep, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yep.
So that's our next chapter, is Sansa 2. So until then,
Yes.
we will catch you guys later. Enjoy the episode. If you are interested in becoming a patron, feel free to go to patreon.com/ironwood. Donate $5 a month to get a opportunity to come on the show and break down a chapter with us. And if you donate just $1 a month, you get early access to all the shows. I have them up usually a couple days early every time, so you get them before everybody else does. Check us out on Facebook,
Twitter,
on the Twitters,
on the Instagrams.
Yep. We'll have links to all this stuff in the show notes below.
Indeed.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See you later.